Anniversaries. We all have them and we know they're coming. So how come we we fail to meet the requirements? We fail to step to the plate. You're going to do the same thing for your partner on your anniversary that you did last year or the year before. So what we want to do is break this mold. A conversation I have with my wife all the time is, if we could fly anywhere in the world this year, where would you want to go? And we start dreaming and doing it. She has no idea I'm planning for the anniversary. You're showing her that you care. So you want to plan this anniversary well ahead of time. Anniversaries. We all have them and we know they're coming. So how come we we fail to meet the requirements? We fail to step to the plate. I see this all the time where I'll talk to men and their anniversary is coming up. Like, oh, my anniversary is next week. What should I do? And I laugh and chuckle. And I've been there. And I laugh and chuckle a little bit because we know that date is coming each and every time. And odds are, you're going to do the same thing for your partner on your anniversary that you did last year or the year before, or something similar in the theme. So what we want to do is break this mold. Now I'm going to tell you a story. I remember when I was in college, I took a part-time job working at a mall, South Coast Plaza in Orange County, California. Great mall, huge. And during this time, I worked during the holiday season as well. So I was the stockroom manager and head salesperson for a company. And I'll tell you what, on about the 22nd of December, the shelves were almost empty, and men would come in, run in, and closer to the 23rd, and they would grab whatever is on the shelf, ask somebody to wrap it for them, and they'd run home. Now I'm talking crazy things, like guys would come in and grab a volcano kit, right? And they would wrap it and give it to their wives. Why? Because they knew they needed something under the tree for Christmas, giving to their wife, or they'd be in trouble. And they didn't plan. What caught my attention at this early age was the 25th of December. It comes on the same time every year, the 25th of December. We know it's coming. So why are we waiting till the 22nd or the 23rd of December to do our shopping, to get our gifts? The same thing is with your anniversary or a birthday. It comes on the same day every year. So I want to give you some strategies and some tips on how you can start making things more fun and more interesting for not only yourself, but for your wife. And it's also going to reduce your stress. So being a practical guy myself and a businessman, one thing that I've learned to do is actually schedule it. So I'll literally have it in a project management software that I have to go shop for gifts or plan, just like a project, right? I create a project template for my wife's birthday or for an anniversary. So for these examples, we'll just use the anniversary, and you can apply it to any other holiday or tradition that you want to. So for our wedding anniversary, I know what day it is. You know yours, right? And if you forgot it, that's not a problem. That's what writing it down or putting in a calendar helps. And then I'll back out. Okay, so my anniversary happens to be in September. So I know it's coming in September. Then maybe what I'll do is plan out in June for an alert to happen, an email to get triggered, to come to me and say, you have 1 week to plan your anniversary. Okay, so that gives me a timeline. I'll have reminders and things coming to me to get plans. I'll also work with groups of guys that have good ideas, because sometimes you just get stumped. Like, oh, geez, what do we want to do for our anniversary? Oh, what's going on around that time? So I might even start the conversation with my wife. And a conversation I have with my wife all the time is, if we could fly anywhere in the world this year, where would you want to go? And, we start dreaming and doing it. She has no idea I'm planning for the anniversary, but she might say, I've always wanted to go to Kauai. We just got back from there. So then what I can do is start planning tickets, a trip for her and I to go to Kauai. Maybe I take the kids, maybe I don't. I can also plan gifts. What's a gift I want to get my wife? What's something different? I'll also oftentimes outsource this. Now, what do I mean? Actually, really what I mean is crowdsource. I'll ask other guys. So in the movement that we call the powerful man, we have thousands of active men, right? They're very smart. And of those men, they're not always doing the same thing. So I can just simply say, hey guys, I got my anniversary coming up in 6 months. Any thoughts, any ideas, any recommendations, right? What's the best anniversary you've ever had? And I'll get responses from men that'll be really creative, really interesting, things that I might not have thought about. And I can liberate, if you will, those ideas and make them my own. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I want to create a memorable experience, first for me, but then secondly, also for my wife. So I can plan ahead. So the first thing I do is I look at the important dates. So the anniversary, mine's in September, and I'll back it out, right? And so say it's June. Hey, Doug, you need to start planning. I'll work at like a project like I would do for a startup that I'm investing in or anything else I'm working on. I'd work on it as a project with the end in mind. In September, there's an anniversary, the end. There's what I want. Here's the feelings I want my wife to have. I want her to be excited. I want to be intimate, and then I can start planning what that is. I'll also trigger something. I'll be able to buy a gift, to get a card, right? You want to break this down like a project. That doesn't take the romance out of it. And I've heard people say this to me like, oh, that doesn't sound romantic at all. And I'll go, dude, have you ever missed an anniversary or been a couple days away from an anniversary and not gotten anything? And I get this all the time. Oh man, I've done that before. It's horrible. Exactly. It's stressful. It's horrible. Your wife knows you didn't plan it. You know you didn't plan it. You try to pass off a card and a gift card someplace or whatever else it is. You feel like crap. That's not romantic either. But planning ahead reduces the stress. You're showing her that you care. So you want to plan this anniversary well ahead of time. Second thing you want to do is be creative, be different, right? A lot of times men will think, wow, what does my wife like to do? And we're going to go do that. No. What do you like to do that she also may like to do? Then you go do that. Because just like hosting a party, if you've ever been to a party where the host is stressed, they're running around, they're not having a good time, the guests also don't have a good time if that's the case. But you can go to a different party where maybe it's just pizza. There's not been hasn't been set up really well, but the host is having a great time. That tends to be the experience of the guests as well. So when you're planning your anniversary, make sure you plan something that you want to do, right? An event that you want to do. Also take your wife into consideration. Don't take her to a monster truck show if that's not her thing, right? Do something you both want to do and do something different. Maybe it's go to a concert. Maybe it's travel. Maybe it's take a dance lesson. Maybe it's a cooking lesson. Maybe you stay at home for an indoor picnic, which I've done most of these things with my wife. And they're fun and they add spice to the relationship. And depending where you are in your life, in your marriage, or in your financial career, that's going to decide. Maybe you can't just go fly first class to Kauai, but maybe you can do, or you definitely can do, an indoor picnic and a movie, right? And get popcorn, and you make it just like a movie theater. You get the big thing of Milk Duds or candy or whatever, and sodas, and you make it just like a movie theater experience, except for now you have intimacy, right? The ability to do it, because you're not doing that in the movie theater, hopefully. So this is something else you want to do. You know that date is coming, so you can plan it accordingly. Again, it's crowdsource. Get some ideas from other men, ideas of things that you can do, ideas that are fun. Don't just ask your bros, the guys that your wife knows, because chances are they're going to do the same things that you do, right? You want to be playing with guys that are playing at a high level. They're constantly farming out new ideas. You need to be around men who are playing at a big level. Iron sharpens iron, as they say. So I'll ask this into our community at times, or I'll talk to other guys that I know are also in the same mindset that want to have excellent lives and extraordinary marriages. Like these are extraordinary businesses. Like what can you do? What are the things you want to do? And I'll even ask my wife from time to time. And oftentimes what my wife will tell me is like, she's like, I love it when you take charge and plan it. Absolutely love it. And so I just do what I think is going to be fun. Another mistake I see guys do is they try to buy their way into the anniversary. They think an expensive gift is going to do it. And it can. But you need to know your wife's love language. My wife's primary language is quality time. So I know on the anniversary, she wants to spend time with me. Now, she may want the kids there, whatever, but it's quality time. My wife loves gifts, don't get me wrong, but it's quality time is her number one on her love language list. So you need to know which of the 5 love languages is your wife's primary. If your wife's in order are quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, and gifts is maybe one of the last, and you go out and you buy her an expensive piece of jewelry to show her how much you love her, yeah, she's probably going to like it, but that's not going to be as quality because she knows all you did is go online or go to the store and buy something for her. That's going to be her story, right? But maybe acts of service is hers. Maybe you do something for her. You fix up her car. You cut down the trees in the backyard, whatever it is. You do that as her gift, so to speak. That's going to fill her love tank more, but you need to know what it is. All right, guys, there's a lot of little tips here for you. The key here is don't be the guy that comes in to the retail store and asks a 19-year-old kid, what's left on the shelves, buys it and puts it under the tree because he didn't plan. You know your anniversary is coming every year. You know the day it's coming. It doesn't change. It's not going to, it shouldn't surprise you at all. You know, just like Christmas or just like tax season, your anniversary, birthdays, you know they are. Do yourself a favor, put them in some kind of reminder system, like a project management system, so it reminds you of what the days are so you can plan ahead. Heck, even Google Calendar has reminders on calendar dates. You can set your anniversary to repeat every year in Google Calendar or Outlook and have it remind you 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance if that's just all you can do. That's the bare minimum. Whatever you do, take some action today to make sure you don't fall in the same trap on your next anniversary and it ends up being a horrible disaster. Instead, make your anniversary something your wife is going to brag to all her girlfriends about because you are the catch. You are the prize. As always, gentlemen, I'm in your corner. I'll see you next time on the TPM show.